Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm not in the garden, but I am taking you along on some very overdue jobs. Today I'll be sorting out some seed packets, saving some seed from my harvest, and also sowing some seeds for the new season. But I'm also very excited to unveil my new seed starting area. I've been working on this space for a while now, and I've been trying to get it perfect, and I'm really pleased with how it's come together. The goal with this seed starting area was to have somewhere out of the elements so I can still be productive on rainy days or during the evenings. And I also wanted it to be close by so I can easily monitor my seedlings. So I placed it in a corner of my balcony as I spend a lot of time out here. I think my favorite part of it is this vintage table. I think it's an old washstand. It's missing a few tiles, but I absolutely love it. It only cost me $30 as well, and it's perfect for what I need. I can easily store things in the cupboards, and in the drawers I keep all my tools I need for seed raising. I have some tweezers for picking up seeds, which is really useful, a seed distributor, a fork, which in my opinion is the best tool for removing seedlings from my trays. I have a marker for writing on labels, a lighter for lighting mosquito coils because they absolutely love me and hang out on the balcony sometimes. I've got some secateurs, some scissors and twines for various needs, and also some plant labels. The first job today is organizing my seeds. I've been collecting some seed packets for a while now, and I just had a big order get delivered, so my goal is to organize these the best way possible. And something I've been working on, which is probably very nerdy, is organizing my seeds into a Notion template. Notion is kind of like a fancy spreadsheet, and I use Notion a lot to organize things in my life and work, and I really wanted a way to track what I'm growing and when to grow things, and I thought a Notion template would make sense. So when I get some new seeds, I can mark down exactly what months they could be sown, along with other details like the sowing method and sow depth and a bunch of other relevant details like the location where I end up planting it. I can also write notes and things like that. So within the template, I can then select the tab for whatever month it is and see what seeds I can sow that month. This Notion template has been a labor of love, and it's taken me so long to get it perfect, but I'm really proud of it, and I find this stuff just works with my brain the best. It still needs a bit of work, but let me know if this is something you're interested in testing out, because I think it's really cool and maybe other people will too, so let me know. But now I have the seeds digitally organized, I now have to physically organize them. So I bought this big thing, and the goal with it is to store my seeds in it. But the hard thing I've been trying to decide is how to organize them. So I'm thinking I'm going to organize them somewhat by category, but that's the plan. I'm going to organize them all now into categories, which may take a while, and then pop them away in their dedicated spots. And then in that kind of spreadsheet thing I've been making, I can classify them and then know which tray they're going to be in. It's all very nerdy and probably maybe overly organized, but I'm excited. I like doing this stuff, so let's get to it. So luckily, a lot of the seed packets fit quite well in the trays. I've been looking around for a long time for the perfect storage solution, but a lot of solutions didn't really seem big enough, and eventually I found this one and it seemed perfect. And sorting through my seed collection, I have to admit I didn't realize I had hoarded so many seeds. I think I'm more prone to hoarding than actually sowing them, so that's definitely something I need to get better at. Especially when some seeds only last 6 to 12 months. I really need to not get so attached to hoarding them and just actually grow them regardless. Because if I'm diligent with my seed saving, I should be able to save the seeds from the harvest and create a new generation of that plant, which would hopefully be a lot more accustomed to my garden. But I don't know, am I the only one who hoards seeds in fear of not having them anymore? Because I'm definitely prone to doing that. Some of these seed packets though I inherited from my dad, and I was absolutely devastated because I naively left them in a box in the shed and the rats got into them. So a whole bunch of them got eaten and chewed on, and you can even see some evidence on the packets where they've chewed on them. These seeds are pretty old and probably not viable anymore, but I just can't part ways with them. I may try my luck and try to sow them one day. I hear if you soak them, it can improve germination rates of old seeds, but also I'm pretty doubtful. I think one of the hardest parts of organizing these seeds was trying to decide how to categorize them. So I think I've organized everything the best I can. It's really hard to decide on categories. It's like whether you get full scientific and do all the correct like family names or genus, or just organize them in a way that like makes sense in my brain. Now to add some labels. When it comes to labeling things over the years, I've gone through a few different methods, but I've eventually landed on biodegradable tape. I used to have a label maker, but it was a bit time consuming and you always needed to purchase things for it. I've also done more permanent labels, but if you mess up the writing, then it all goes to waste. I quite like this biodegradable tape because there's less guilt if I mess it up or if I want to mix and match and change my mind, which I'm sure I will. This seed saving system will be constantly evolving, and this tape is a really quick and easy way to label things. I also use this a lot in my kitchen as well. So the storage is all done and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I've organized my flowers by season, which I think will be really useful as well, but only time will tell to see how well this method will go. I'll be storing this in a room in a dark area to help preserve the seeds a bit better. And one day I'd love to have a dedicated fridge for storing seeds, but I ain't that fancy. So for now, I have a big organized storage box. Another overdue job is saving some seeds from my harvest. I've been saving seeds in these mesh bags for a while now and letting them dry out, but it's time to pop them away in some seed packets. I've got things like corn, okra, capsicum, the yin yang seeds you saw me harvest last week. Also got some climbing beans. But first, I have this big, beautiful sunflower that I harvested before the cyclone. And to be honest, this is my first time saving seeds from a sunflower. So I didn't know the best way to do it. So it took me a few goes to try and find the best tactic. I also discovered they can be kind of sharp. In the end, I found that using this fork to be the best tactics, or using your hands. The fork did damage some of the seeds a little bit, but there were so many seeds I wasn't too concerned if a couple were damaged. I was also babysitting my mum's puppy, so he helped out as well. It took a while, but eventually I popped all the seeds away in some packets. Got these seed packets off Amazon as well, and you can label them however you like. I've found that if you end up with like an excess of seeds, they make amazing gifts for friends and family. So I'm hoping that some of these seeds will make a really great gift for someone. I then moved on to saving my corn seeds. Some of these sadly got moldy. I didn't store them properly, so I really hope they're still viable. But I had no idea saving corn seeds was so fun. They just pop right off and make really satisfying sounds. I absolutely love seeing all the different colors together of these corns. I think I'm going to try and add some more in the ground while it's still hot and see how they go. I also saved one of my miniature pumpkins for seed saving as well, as I ended up giving away most of the seeds I had already saved. And these pumpkins are delicious, but they are so tough to cut into. I then gutted the seeds and washed them a little bit and left them in a mesh bag to dry. So I wanted to try save some seeds from my tromboncino. This one was a bit funky at the end, so I figured it would maybe be worth cutting it open. But I cut it open and I couldn't find any seeds at all. Also, it was really watery. This is my first time growing this plant, so I don't know much about it, but I even Googled it and I couldn't find any answers on how to find the seeds either. So if you know how to save seeds in this tromboncino, please let me know, because I'm clueless. It was then time for a bit of a tidy up and to get into some seed raising. Initially, when I first used this space, I would make a huge mess and there would be soil everywhere. And I've tried a few different methods like putting cardboard down or doing it in a big bucket, but eventually I found this potting up mat and thought it was too cute and convenient. I just had to have it. You just clip the edges together to avoid spillage and it works really great. But now it's time for the really hard part. Deciding what to grow. First up, I opted for some San Marzano tomatoes since it's tomato season. I don't really like eating tomatoes by themselves, but this variety is good for sauces, and I really want to try sun drying some tomatoes because that's my absolute favorite way to eat them. I've definitely learned over time as well that labeling your seedlings is very important. You may think you will remember, but you never do. And then sowed some more tomatoes of this cool pineapple stripe variety. I don't know much about it, but it looked cool in the packet, so I'm eager to give it a go. I spent the whole afternoon sowing a variety of seeds, and I definitely have a lot more I want to sow, especially for some flowers. But so far I have tomatoes, cabbage, kale, spinach, a cool pink celery variety, bunching onion, a cool strawberry where the fruit is white, I'm very excited for them, and some echinacea and billy button flowers. I then gave it a quick spray with water and added vermiculite on top to help keep the moisture in. I then stored them away so they can get growing. But that's all my jobs done, so I did a little bit of a quick tidy up so my space can be all prepared for next time. And that pretty much sums up my day of seed saving and raising. Thanks so much for coming along for the ride. Please let me know what you do for your seed saving. And a quick note I wanted to share, I've created a free Patreon for weekly blogs. And the reason for this is because social platforms force you to be so reliant on their algorithms. But I'm hoping with using like a free Patreon account, I can easily let people know when there's new videos or updates. So if you want to be notified of new videos with a weekly blog post, make sure to check it out. It's linked down below. You can also follow my Instagram for updates as well. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.